Mintek is South Africa's National Mineral Processing and Metallurgical Research Council, formed in 1934. To mark 90 years, the entity gathered role players to reflect on efforts towards the sustainable developments of the country's mineral sector 30 years into democracy. Mintek says the country has seen notable achievements in the industry over the years.
South Africa was not always number one when it comes to reserves. It is industry working with Mintek where we develop technologies to process platinum group metals, specifically the UG2. Overnight, South Africa became number one in reserves. And we heard a lot from Minister Mantashe about the role that Mintek played in the gold sector.
Minister Gwede Mantashe delivered a keynote address highlighting that to date, South Africa supplies over 70% of the world's platinum, 38% of palladium and 81% of rhodium to the global commodities market. He's lauded the work of the entity in driving government's transformation agenda in the minerals sector.
The Start by Mineral help us engage in that complex debate, because you know that critical minerals are defined differently by various countries. The US has its own definition, EU has its own definition, Australia has its own definition, China has its own. And we think that we can work together to have a definition of critical minerals for the continent, Africa. And that definition must be critical because we are the producers. We are in doubt. We are not going to be bullied around. I hope we find one another on that one. We don't get bullied around. We stop the pit to port approach to mining. We begin to add value close to the point of production.
The organization has been working on a study into 11 minerals for consideration by Cabinet. The CEO says they are looking at adding more minerals to the list.
It was important for us to look at each commodity specifically, look at challenges, look at potential initiatives or interventions, but most importantly, look at opportunities. Which opportunities can we highlight for future investment to be able to attract localization on some of the value chains in these commodities? So we started looking at the exploration, the challenges in exploration, the challenges in mining, the challenges in processing, but also beneficiation, logistics, and the end of mine.
The conference also looked at the prevalence of zamazamas, emerging technologies, value creation, and unlocking opportunities on tackling climate change through critical minerals.
There's a very stringent demand, and we're on the cusp of a boom cycle potentially for these minerals to support the just energy transition, of course, and the aim, the ultimate goal is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Now, as we do that, of course, unfortunately in the mining and production of these, we're increasing the emissions as we do so, but the ultimate goal is that eventually we will be able to reduce those emissions.
The conference has also seen calls for support to small-scale and artisanal miners in tackling illegal mining, which they say has been devastating to communities and taking away from the country's economy. The role players, including government, are upbeat on the efforts towards actively shaping the future of the minerals sector with a just energy transition, the various technologies and the policy approach in mind. Those in the sector are also looking to capitalize on South Africa's G20 presidency on opportunities and areas of collaboration. SABC News in Sandton.